YouTube. Still working on my Instagram feed here. Alright, guys, trying to get Instagram up. For a second. For some reason, when I click live, it wants me to says that I can't go public, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But I was really hoping to go live on two platforms at once. But this is the test, so here we go. I don't want to do that. 8K. Only public profiles. It's not a private. I wonder if it's okay. Maybe not. Well, you have to jump over to Facebook. I want to do multiple streaming, so let me see what I got over there. That sucks. Oh, we'll skip Instagram today. Oh, what's up, YouTube? That kind of makes me mad. Uh, oh well, I mean, this was a test, so um, I'm gonna try one more thing now. For see if my settings on. Because if I have to go live on Facebook instead of Instagram, I really would rather do Instagram. But huh, well, for right now, YouTube, what's happening? So I'll center this more on you guys then. Um, I'm gonna mess around with some of the settings here as I work, but basically, I'm just gonna do this for about 2 hours, roughly. I got a few things I could work with, and then I can explain a little bit of what I'm doing here. So this was the first set piece that I was monitoring. Let me take these out too. I was monitoring to make sure the uh, audio was good because I've been listening to I was monitoring to make sure the some music, and make sure it wasn't going through. It was good because I've been listening to cool. I think we're good. Everything's different until I get everything some music. I'll make sure it wasn't going. Yeah, I don't need to hear myself twice. Um, all right, cool. Couple of technical difficulties as far as streaming on another platform at the same time. I'm going to get that worked out. And instead of Instagram, I think I'll just from now on go Facebook. Like I said, I'm gonna still try to get that going live here. But this is the first miniature set piece that I built for filming, and give you guys a full behind the scenes look because I don't think I really ever take pictures of basically behind the scenes, behind the house. Got a little mailbox I'm gonna try to mess with during the stream. Um, I've got some, so you guys can see that. Those are just a bunch of like old school kind of Victorian era bathroom things, like the toilet with a flush box up top on the wall. So I'm gonna see what I can do to maybe work with some of that. The thing is I was gonna deck the entire inside of this house out, and that way, even shots from the outside, you can see hints of there being a living situation. All right, so this was a dollhouse that I put together. Um, it was all just blank wood. Everything you see on it, every little wooden tile, I broke off and glued every single one. So none of that was a part of the original kit. Um, on the inside, like I even put in the same flooring that I used to kind of manipulate the wooden shingles. But the reason why I originally went with a dollhouse is because through green screening, I was going to make the inside of the house an actual set. And it would have been cool to have a camera sitting here, and then somebody goes upstairs and you can just literally pedestal the camera up and to the next scene, like almost see the guy walking up, follow him up to the next floor. I changed my mind about all that. It's going to be more of a focus on the outside of the house. just so you guys can see what I'll be working with on the inside. You guys a little bit of a closer look. See, paint is kind of chaotic on the walls. I haven't sealed up the seams. Um, it's a chimney I built. I used real patch cement. So that's real cement, and I got some of the black rocks for fish aquarium. And I stuck those to it to kind of give it a stone look, like a different kind of stone look. I know it doesn't look like your typical, kind of looks like a chocolate chip snack, which I'd be down for, like chocolate chips and a milkshake. But the same goes for a pathway here is the exact same. So this is real cement. So the path is what it's made of, what it's supposed to be made of. Uh, and all of this, it's kind of like what I used on my gazebo last week. I had the lighter colored stuff. I don't have any in my bag because I used it all up, but this is the real cool color that I wanted to contrast against the cobalt blue. So this is the house that I used an even darker version of that kind of foliage. And you notice that it's got a wire running to it. So I'm actually going to try to highlight this with some lighter on top of the dark tonight. But I'm going to actually get this set up. I haven't figured out where exactly I'm going to place it. If I want it kind of to the back of the house or to the front. I'd like to think it'd be a nice up front piece. But yeah, it's got lighting. It's really cool. This is one more thing here. Oh, I don't want to do that. I can't mess with Facebook a little bit while I'm talking to you guys. Here's another thing I did build. So I did get a fireplace that I wanted to put in, to share the wall on the inside of the thing. I built the top of this, just a square piece of wood. And what's on there is sandcloth that you use for copper pipe and plumbing. That's exactly what I used to wrap the chimney and little strips for the pathway, because when you use the cement patch, you actually it grips it. It kind of helps grab that cement, so it gives it something than a smooth surface to actually attach to. Just good texture. So I'll slide him in there for now. I'm not gonna. Also, what I was gonna do is I have these mirrors. I have round ones too, but I was gonna put a mirror on here, so kind of give a visual. But yeah, I was gonna put a mirror in the center of this, stick it into the cement. I was also gonna surround this with little pebbles, like more aquarium pebbles, but not the black kind. The look like actual river stones kind of thing. So get this in here. It sits in there nice, kind of. Almost have to shave them down just to get them to stand up square, but at the same time, I can always fill in behind to give it a little bit more depth. Awesome. So I just want to check and make sure that you guys can hear me out there. I see my levels. Uh, Let me know. Right there, and then it's more music. Okay, I don't want to blast you guys out. I don't know how it's going through to you guys, so you just let me know. I'll mess with a couple things here. Also, this, which if you saw the promo for me going live today, it's just kind of like a little rubber gasket kind of seal thing. That's definitely a tire swing. Original idea was to actually make it look like a tree branch is actually coming into the shot. So let's see if I get, yeah. So you got foreground too, but I mean, you'd want to attach it to something like this, where it's a real tree branch, looks like a real branch. And let's see, here to do this. Oh, that sucks. Landscape's not supported. That's stupid. I wonder why you can't do a landscape. It was really lame. Yeah, it was really stupid there. So, I mean, I can go live on Facebook, definitely. So, click over here. Get my little tripod set up. Outside of that, if you're taking the time to join me, I appreciate you guys. It's really nice to get back into doing some production here. Not sure what this over here is going to be like. So, you guys in YouTube world have a nice enough wide shot. So, I do have to move this over a little bit to cater to YouTube a little bit. I don't know why. This is really weird. I never use this for a vertical camera shot. Got my co-host with me. It's always Doc, the Docky Bear. Oh, so I see why it's doing that. It's pushing that button, that's why. Well, at least we know next time how to make this a little bit more smooth. Just a little more. Yeah, it's not so bad. Brought you up next to, oh, the YouTube camera there. So yeah, we're just going to be live over here. Do also bring that strobe light. So a good way to make a house look demonic. So if you turn out the light, the camera kind of auto adjusts. But yeah, it looks like some crazy stuff's going on in the house. But it kind of sucks. I couldn't do a Instagram, but here we are. Facebook. Hello. I gotta figure out what that says. My account on Instagram is private, not public, but I don't understand that because every time I post, it's a public post. I don't have any. You don't have to send me a request to view my page. Again, I'll go through all that later. But this is only the second stream of me doing this, so I do appreciate you guys coming in. A little bit. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be what it's gonna be here. This is alright. I'm gonna mess with my camera a little bit so it's not so washed out for YouTube. I mean, it's not bad. I'm looking at it two different things. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I mean, I gotta have my light, but there we go. Sure, I plug that in. So, here we are. So one good thing about keeping your old phones is you can use them for helping you stream multiple streams. There we go. I like that better. Awesome. Cool. And the reason I kind of chose to start doing like multiple streaming or multiple platforms, like almost Instagram, but with YouTube is really wanting to encourage people to go over to YouTube um, and help me and subscribe and help me do things over there. Yeah. I don't think I like that. Awesome. That's a little better. Deal with that. Cool. Yeah. So cool. I think we're kind of ready. I just got to decide where I'm going to start. Uh, so just give you guys both a look. YouTube. You see that? I got these little like a little bundle of mailboxes. But you can see the ridges on them. Facebook. Show you guys too. So what I did was I tried to put. I don't know if it's going to focus for you guys. I really fine tuned my last name on there. From a distance, at least I can tell what it is. So you guys are going to see me bounce between two cameras here, Facebook and YouTube. So Facebook, uh, make sure at some point you head over to my YouTube, subscribe. Uh, Definitely need some support over there. But yeah, this is actually my first live Facebook too for anything, as far as I remember. I think I really had any reason to do anything else. Kind of mad I didn't do things like this sooner. In a way, like it's not like I didn't think of it. It's just I wasn't sure what to do, and why not include you guys on the working on the production side of things. But yeah, to just give YouTube a shot as well. Here's my co-host in crime. There's Doc, Doc the Docky Bear. So he's a riot. All right, so had some of the foliage fall off, so I'm actually gonna reattach some of it. So where I want to add in, or it's a little scarce, I know it's the front here. So I'm gonna slide this to where you guys can't really see that. It's opposite of. It's all right. We're just hanging out anyway, so we're doing. Turn that up a little bit. I'm not gluing these. I think I did like maybe some touch glue on some of the things that I was doing. Like some of these, but I'll decide. Yeah, I think like on this roof here, like this sub roof, porch roof here, I might have done something. Want that to go all the way down. Very nice. So another piece of it here. tell. So I can't tell. Use the camera to see the other side. Yeah, there's a little patch over there I can fill in as well. I mean, I definitely need to go get more of this stuff from Michael's. It's the best stuff I've ever seen. Like what I want to do. I used to have I had an oregano plant die on me, so I had that all dried out. And that was the original vines that I had. It looked cool, but I found some of this stuff like, oh, because if you look at it, it also kind of looks like veinish, like veins, like the way it runs. Uh, yeah, it kind of adds a little bit to it. Plus, if I ever have any of this stuff where a light needs to shoot through it from underneath, but yeah, it's cool stuff. Doing this. Lighter stuff. Actually, I think I still have some of that oregano. I ground it up to where on the small pathway, if I sprinkled it, it looked like maybe some dead leaves falling. That's what I have left for highlight. So I do want to add some highlights to this tree. Make sure both got Facebook and YouTube can see this. Those lights are going to pop through no matter what. So then all I did was I made a copper wire frame. I was going to add texture to this, but like a tree texture. Just going to use that as the frame. But I think I'm just going to just cover it with I get an older glorified kind of a bush tree. I mean, yeah, to it still lights up. So yeah, it's kind of cool. See how that looks. And it's not a real camera shot using the Facebook and what I'm using here for YouTube. And I gotta add some highlights, like make it pop a little. I don't necessarily want the same color that's on the house because it's got to be there. Same color stuff that I used on the gazebo at the cemetery last week, and that might be all I have left of it. I don't want to take anything off of that fabulous. Like I said, I'll go get more if I feel like I need to. But I think what I'll do here is just like add some highlight here and there because it'll definitely pop. Maybe I have enough to where I leave this intact and actually make it look like it's got a spidery down. That's not going to be long enough, but basically what I do. Oh, yeah, just kind of giving it a white cap. If I want to get more, I can put it onto the other side. Like it. Still lights. Cool. Anything to get it to kind of pop, kind of almost. It's your world. You can do whatever you want. Went that shit for Bob Ross. So, what kind of tree is that? It's a fairground tree. That's what it is. Looks cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, it looks really cool through the other camera too. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Something a little more upbeat going, huh? So you guys know I'm not peering at you. I'm using you as also a camera so I can kind of see if it's protruding. Yeah, okay, good. Very nice. Yeah. Ooh, It's really full of tree. Might put some rocks around the base. Yeah. See, I do kind of like it sitting right here off the front of the house. That's where the plan of it was. Just got to figure out a way to bury this wire. You know, so right. So, see what else do I got here? You know, a piece of the porch I could repair. I like that it looks broken. Like I said, I don't want this to be everything here perfect, but I'm glad I went away from the house looking dead. See, like on the other half of that tree, I definitely have to add some highlight to it. Also got, I've got little things of sand, which this is just a little bag of it's supposed to mimic grass. Uh, I wonder if I get a lot of this if I sprinkle it in. You know, it might look bad, not bad if I sprinkled it in where the seams are. That could actually be a damn good thing there. Yeah. Lots of things going on at once. I like it. So if I had it in a driveway, which would make sense to put it into the back of the house, except maybe over here. I can always extend this pathway out. Again, it's just how much detail I want to add because I know the first project I'm going to use this for is going to be kind of just like a breeze through. So it's not going to be too much focus. It's going to be definitely reusable set. Things are going to move around and change. But yeah, weather updates. Keep getting tornado warnings for other parts of the country. It's like, yeah, okay, what's going on here? You guys still can't get the weather right. If you ever even lived in Colorado for 1 year, you understand when people say if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Mm. It, it's, I mean, actually, weather predictions got come a long way since I was a kid. So everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know," they never get it right. Like they do. It typically rains when they say it's going to rain. Uh, I'm mad when it doesn't, though. Like when they show thunderstorms and just lightning going like crazy. That was supposed to happen this week. At least it didn't happen on my end of town, but all right. What we got here? Kind of thinking what I would do with that sand if I was, that's actually, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I gotta explain what I was thinking. I think the reason, like with these little bathroom pieces, like the tub, is you can tell they're plastic I mean, from a distance, that's fine. Like I said, it wouldn't be up close, but just things to do. Now, this little stool here, actually, you know what I might do? I might paint him, set him on the porch to actually have something on the porch for a change. Maybe, and it doesn't have to be anything serious. I've got a overkill of markers down here. These things are great. Yeah, they're not like magic markers. They don't get you like if you're very sensitive to fumes. They don't really hurt you. But go ahead. Always paint the legs silver. They look better, more like a chrome though, so it looks like real metal legs. Maybe I'm just gonna mess with this part. To the top, so I can always fix it later. It's gonna be kind of hard to do. I think what I'll do is I'll just do the whole top all the way to the sides. Yeah, it still bothers me about Instagram, not going live, especially when you promote that you're going to be over there. That dry, add some more to it later. Cool. Might leave the pen, I'll change legs. Might see if I have a wood like color, like a light tan or something for like stripped down wood kind of look. Uh, down here, that tree looks really cool on the camera. I keep looking at it. I mean, when you have a camera on it, you bring down your little iris a little bit so all the little flare off of that doesn't show up quite so bad. Nice. That's one things. Certain things I touch up, I could do here. Of course, I gotta. I just consider it across the porch. There's a lot I can do. Something right here. Get growing out from behind there. Let's see if I can just stuck some of that foliage up underneath here. Looks like that's what broke it. Because it's just not been maintained or landscaped correctly. Just like that. And then this pen. Yo, guilty. But how many times we had a slippery slope to deal with? Still, it's any hope we feel it. Coming together, a separate elo. Else you get an E and B elo. If you don't, what kind of list can you go? Full of Vinci Van Gogh just to convince it him up. To be a housewife who outright lies, blackout drunk. That's stacking up my drive. I ran outside. Why she should have act out? He must have been on my side. Hit me in the mouth twice, guys. What's so crazy? Six a steak, nothing beating your arm. You try more. Feel the liquor right in, snows through my door. Let's daylight in, and fight more. And it ain't violent, but still you might supposed to play the cake while I need. I'm shooting the truth fly home. So the same nine say, stop the truth fly more guys. 8 9 men. I'm taking 2 by 4s, 2 8 by 10s, get your 2 by 4. Frame I win, a new I beat this game on man. Get some 2 by 4. When you take my friends and my 2 wife. Free your back from you to shoot off the house just the things I get. I'm waiting for the take. King use and march for the skank I've been. And there's a new guy, don't be replaced by him. Got your two time for him, the two time for him, first get you locked. But the pain I'm in, tap me watch for to make the race guys in. Here come the race like when you get a pay hike. And am I the good guy or do I just play like him? And hope that he dumps you. It's like a dream come true. Just scream off you. Just take life in the same way you play dice. Then you should just look at me and roll the little snake eyes in. Since you want the jury, they'll call me guilty. They'll call me guilty. You want the jury, they'll call me guilty. Even though you know the real, you can't be the sheet up for basically the people. But now you're more feeling somehow. But I'm gonna just say that you want to put your file. The cash I got, just you can't be the sheet up. I'm basically but you up. But I ain't never feeling somehow. But I'm just saying that you want to put your file. I got you against the wall, you touch me, push up, falling off, over myself, and live your heart in case you're not good. You know, with shirts, with shirts, in trapped snow, cylinder with scarlet tall, with clouds falling off her, with the shade, with shirts, you with shirts, South with broken jaws, step outside but not crawling. All sweet wind, call the ball out, make it to the moon, never have to crawl. She says, she says, close your eyes and now kiss you, girl, wish you the kiss. Out,
Naturally, those individuals just our place, this kind of place, not the place, not the field, but in the birds of eight things. From the fact such that she didn't stand a chance, or the little chance, she didn't shoot him, she was getting out of attention, into the house, or from the villa. And it's supposed to be she was in the it's not supposed to be she's not the government. She comes over, she's in the so this people that are to the princess, she just distracts them. She only knows that she never got joke. She of the teachers, lots of the teachers, she loved him, watched her, she was just the top. She was just the top, and the social agitated top. How good swap. You see him swap. So you're going, that's all you heard. Which are better students, and I'm better audience, and I'm such audience. We know that you better suburbs to further testing for years. Small years, now for years. Essentially, it's no longer Chicago species, now is the slates on the facets, but it's in the control of the history. Great apply from us. In parts of the village, on the end of the child, yes. John lives salt, she's on the salt, without you then are really present. She has fun. Even if you see me on the side of my shoe, means you want to and I would go shoes. That's the switch, the jingle room sketch. The sort of things had it and one of the guys is a lot. She became sweet. You know, Joe just that was a dream. What they did was smoking people went to stop. So she used to top, top, top.
That's what I just did. Still want to work on the detail of the mailbox, but I did just get it put in. So, thought I grabbed it by the leg. Right. So what I just did was I just cut in the mailbox. Kind of see a little bit. It's looking over there, YouTube. Yeah. So, I mean, my name is kind of legible in there on the thing, but again, I definitely can't get any close-up shots of it when I'm filming because you can still see the whoever made these. They're just 3D printed, but they're perfect for the scale. Yeah, we got a whole bag of these things over on Facebook so they can see. This little mailbox. I don't like that Facebook makes me do a vertical shot. That's why you should be on my YouTube. Subscribe. You can see a better shot. And the whole point of all this was is that get you guys to go over there and support that channel more. I gotta figure out what the kinks on Instagram were because I really wanted to go live there instead. For those of you who joined me on YouTube, make sure you throw the video a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And besides this, I do my live stream retro games every Thursday, the Think Tank, which this led to that, and that led back to this. So, absolutely. All right. Still waiting for to get back to where Facebook can see what I'm doing too. Take that vertical shot. Uh, or yeah, so the plan is trying to get that pillar back up or part of the pillar. I was going to put some of the growth behind it. Some of the plant life to make it look like that's kind of what busted it over the years, so it looks. But I'm actually missing some pieces that I think I forgot about. That's why I can't get it quite flush. That's all right. It doesn't matter, right? Just figure out where I want to attach this stuff to. Fair spot right there. Conceal some of that branch, but don't add too much branch to it either. You guys back on Facebook. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I don't care if I'm in the shot or not. It's mostly what I'm working on, but still, yeah, that'll work. YouTube's always good. Definitely appreciate you guys over there. And man, this channel is what I like is through the settings when you go live, if you switch it to where it's appropriate for children or kids, it doesn't let people live chat with you. So there's a reason why, like, I don't probably reach a lot of people I should, depending on what I'm playing or doing. Like, see, at the same time, like when I play a video game, I'll cuss once in a while because, you know, gaming language. I don't say anything brutal, but you just don't know what YouTube is going to flag. I respect it. I'm not monetized, so I don't know how hard they hit you prior to that. But I think maybe if I went back, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't change it because certain things are still there. Certain games are not appropriate for kids. At least some parents might think so. I don't know. I was 12 years old when Mortal Kombat came out. I was there to see the ESRB rating be created. But we're having fun with that. Said every like that I get, still on my way to 100 likes on YouTube or subscribers. You have to have, I think, at least 500 to get one more step towards monetized. The reason I like seeing the small increment of likes is people are there for what I'm actually doing. It's not just a number like, hey, like this because of a hashtag or I know it's its own form of social media now because you can comment, you can chat, but you're not on there unless you're creating something. So that's why YouTube is that much. It still keeps it that separate from regular old social media. And like everything today, it's literally called streaming, broadcast, or podcasting, and all that kind of stuff. But I think of it as broadcasting. I do try to treat it like something you want to come and see weekly, like it's getting to be a show. And once I get some guest gamers in there, it'll really feel like that. So I will be hosting people while we play a game, hopefully talking about what they do if they're somebody on a creative level. Like you guys are gonna see me look back and forth to two cameras here, so I'm not like twitching or whatever I might look like, but I do have a lot of friends that are very creative and talented, and be able to have them in there and maybe discuss what they do so you guys can support them as well. That's what I kind of want the think tank to become. Plus, we're playing retro games, especially when I play 16-bit era games. You can tell that I still today think that's the best era of video games. But yeah, so make sure you're sticking with me every week. I will get back to doing at least another Saturday stream for the more modern retro, uh, modern gaming with retro feel kind of thing. I still got to work on a way to kind of get this, but it's going to be look like a backyard thing, kind of swinging in the background. Attach it to this be easier to pull off on my Facebook feed because you see a branch protruding in. Because if I show you where it's coming from, it's not attached to anything. So, but yeah, that's the idea behind that. Over on YouTube, that's what you would be looking at, kind of a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. It doesn't have the right background for you to really see what it is. All right, I'll let that stay clamped for a little bit longer. Yeah, this is fun. You guys could ever just get something like this. I've always tried to put together like model cars and stuff growing up. I just could not stick with something like that. But when you're creating something that nobody's ever seen before and it's for the purpose of like shooting, it's an actual set. Um, and something you can bring to life. I encourage people to try stuff like this. It's very therapeutic. I understand why the guy in Beetlejuice did a model of the whole town. I will not go that far. If I did, it would be the west side of Colorado Springs where I grew up. We all know what they say. West side is the best side. Pretty sure Ice Cube would agree with me. Not necessarily about, you know, Colorado Springs, but he's always yelling west side, so he knows. He definitely knows. Right there. Awesome. Good, good to that time. For anybody just joining me too, especially over on YouTube earlier. And these videos will stay up on my channel, so you can always go back and kind of look at the beginning of this episode. So I keep looking over there because I'm monitoring my YouTube, trying to remember to talk to you guys here. But at the beginning, I did spin this around so you guys could see what the inside of the house looks like. It's definitely trashed. It's the least of my worries right now, but just to re-explain what I'm working with, I chose a dollhouse originally because the idea was to have a camera shot through green screen here to make the house look like a set. People are in it, or that's like a stage kind of set, and say you follow somebody upstairs, pedestal the camera up. These just little film tricks for anybody interested. You guys can. Happy to explain what I do for camera tricks and what the intent was or was going to be because it's fun. I think it's fun to share, to do things like that. Again, however, we're going to slide over a little bit more for YouTube. See if I can just do a camera, push that back a little bit with an angle. Goes that tree. That's fine. I got too much going on, but then hang this stool so it'll stay there with that. A little bag of sand. Put all the bathroom pieces in this tub, or at least all the little ones I can fit in there. Cleanup's going to be fun, but it all goes into a box and I break it back out. So, yeah, again, if you're just joining me, throw that video a like, help support, subscribe. Feel free to ask questions. Nothing's too secret. Again, this is, I already know what I'm going to use this for filming. It's going to be for like a little, the first test project's going to be like an intro kind of shoot, like maybe an intro to a show. Like, remember Tales from the Crypt, camera kind of going through things. That's the idea I have for this first. So, you've seen me work with the the blue, called blue screen, but it's blue wall that I used chroma blue paint, and that's going to be used on location shoots because I want to take this out to actual sunlight. First of all, you can't beat sunlight. It's the best lighting you can ever have. And yeah, uh, use the blue screen so I can superimpose the actual background behind it. And when I do those on location shoots, it'll be through my phone on, yeah, it'll be YouTube. Um, it'd be nice to use the social medias for that too, but I'm just going to use YouTube on, for that one. So that's why make sure anybody on Facebook go over to YouTube and subscribe so you can catch the on location shoots. And I'll try to be as social on there as I can. That's mostly just to kind of watch me work if I'm doing an on location shoot. But those are going to be fun. I'm ready to start setting these pieces into an actual setting. I do have a bowling alley for anybody that has been following me on Facebook and Instagram. They do know they've seen those pictures after I built them. 7-Eleven's really cool because it's literally just a miniature 7-Eleven. So kind of look like Godzilla behind this house on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. Kind of. That's a camera I don't quite want to move around. Uh, there we go. It's not bad. Again, it's not about me, but when I'm talking, I feel like it should be a little bit more personal to you guys because that's what this is. All right, so then I'm going to paint the legs of that stool. Stop messing around with the tire swing there because it's not going to unravel. And I just use twine because for that scale, it kind of looks like just a very smaller version of like the rope that we used to use on the tire swing we had at my grandma's. So I was able to kind of have a reference of how I was going to make that look. Again, up close. It's be a different story. That's why that has to stay at a different. So I'm going to paint the legs of this little porch stool, and it'll be like the first little piece of detail that kind of actually have to decorate the outside as far as furniture. I have to do a couple coats of this. So it have to be dark. I have all kinds of different. I have a pretty decent selection of these little markers. Yep, even better. It's so slick because it's that kind of plastic that if you over touch it up, you can almost not erase it. It's not like a dry erase. It, to paint the underneath of it, but I think we'll be okay. Sure, looks like that's going to turn a certain way. Make sure you're covered. I know, like little things, if you like, nobody's gonna see that. What's up, Adam? Thanks, man. Yeah, it's well, you remember when I started this house, bro? I was 2018, 2019, maybe the year before I moved into this house. But yeah, like getting back to detail, like you could sit there and say, through a camera, nobody's gonna see that. But if you have the attitude that if you can see it, somebody else is, or you just got to pretend like what you see, they will too. Whether, I mean, yeah, the carnal knowledge of it's there because you created it. But just make sure you're catching your detail. Like on the house, there's so many imperfections on this that I've used a lot of the foliage to kind of cover up, and it actually kind of works out to make it look like some of that plant life might have broken something itself by growing underneath. Adro, got two of my AV family in the house. Think you could fit in this house, Pedro? No, just kidding. That'd be more of a shoe joke. But yeah, yeah, it's coming along. Uh, Let that dry. I gotta grab it from another angle anyway. Uh, I'll show you guys real quick. Something I just put in. Spin this around. Yeah, put in the cut the mailbox in. Kind of see. So I got Facebook here and I got YouTube here. But I don't know that focus. I tried to write my name on there, my last name on there, so kind of tell it's that, but it was just too big for that scale of mailbox, so I gotta repaint that and figure out something else. But yeah, it's got a mailbox now. Hope that's dry yet. I don't want to remove those clamps, but yeah, that's where that's at. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna paint the underneath of this red as well, just because it's hard to avoid not hitting it. And once I get this covered, I will do one more coat of black on top, just in case the red touched it. I mean, again, this is detail that I know nobody else is gonna see, like a little smudge. You gotta do it right. Yeah, I saw you've been on TV, Adam. How's that been going, man? The news station, right? It's funny that I just pulled out the newspaper clippings that had you in it. I keep looking at the laptop. You're over here. Yeah, I keep looking at the earlier today. I pulled out the newspaper clippings that had you in it. When I was moving some stuff around in my closet, I still got to frame that stuff. Big Bird. I hope you're learning stuff then. How to get to Sesame Street. Uh, yeah, I like that red against the black. Glad I didn't do like a just a regular old brown or anything. I got plenty of brown on this set. Grab it like that. Actually, gonna have to let that dry a little bit because I can't have nowhere left to grab it. Hit the areas I want. Maybe I can. Yeah, I definitely have to hit the top again. Doing a second coat on those legs, I don't care about. Yeah, definitely, because there's like a little side of that leg I can't hit. I'm just taking the color off of it when I grab it now. Yeah, actually, for Nemesis, man, I can. Yeah, uh, it's easier if I move the house in for you guys. Wow. Just because of how I have some things going on here. Uh, yeah, but I've got my live stream set up, man. If you want to start Nemesis over, because I think we left it in a bad spot that we just can't recover, we could do that on my live stream as a serial. It doesn't have to be every week, but I have the room set up for guest gaming, like it's for hosting. So I know you're busy as hell in October, but if you want to restart Nemesis and go through it, it could be a multiple episode kind of thing. So just hit it 2 hours at a time when we can. It doesn't have to be every week, but I've been wanting to hit you up. I'm ready for that. Uh, Trying to get Gravity in there, play some Frogger and River City Ransom. Forgot what else he liked, but like I have some old school games that DeWitt appreciates too. So him and I'll try to go battling for some high scores on some games while, you know, helps him out as DJ Gravity too. So that's what it's about. But yeah, it's technically going to be a show. I already do it weekly, but there's got to be those moments, man, when you have that second guy in there. Another one we can play is you want to play the beat 'em up for Power Rangers, man. I got it. Go through and just morph. But I mean, like, sky's the limits with that. It's all retro gaming. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. So Pedro, it's taken me since like 2018, 2018, I think I started this house, if that's what you're asking. And it's taken me too many times of not getting back to it. All right, how are we doing on time? Should I start this at 5? Yeah, I got a few more minutes, guys. I got a little bit done that I wanted to do. Again, I'll probably come back to this with another stream. I'm trying to do this every week, so it adds to the live stream gaming. Because, like I said, one led to another, and the other led back to this. So that's what the think tank was all about. Was getting me away from this, or technically, while I'm waiting for something to glue, that's when I would go play kind of a video game. Now you can see how they went hand in hand and why I created that live stream in the first place. So, but yeah, I think we should start a RE3. Oh, nice. What's up, Tabby? Hope it's some tasty Mexican food. I've been eating a lot of, been making breakfast tacos lately, like sausage, onions, lots of, uh, lots of hot sauce and cheese. Make that crap once a week. Make it once a week. Uh, yeah, actually, if I figure out what I'm going to do next, I mean, technically, I could think that takes too long to dry on that stool right there. Maybe, I don't know. Uh, but I'll spin it around for you guys with a little bit more close-up shot again. Like I technically, this is the first time I put that webcam on an actual little tripod. I have a very long USB-C cable attached to it, so I can move it around. Uh, but I just left it stationary because the whole doing a dual stream between Facebook and this now, which was supposed to be Instagram. I didn't want to live stream to Facebook, but trying to open up multiple streaming options at once. So, little panic. Sorry about the clamps. They're still drawing that pillow that broke. And, and just so you guys know, like the pathway, spin it a little more. I just stuck the fireplace in there for a little bit. But this pathway is actual real cement, so it's a cement patch. So it's made out of what it's supposed to be made out of. Is it gonna stay? Clamp that there again. I think it needs both clamps. Okay. Nice. Take one of them. Take one of them away. Yeah, not bad. Still want to do a little bit more work on the chimney and want to add more plant work. I got to go replenish because I used all of this color for all wonder you put something else around the top. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think. See what? You know what? I got to kind of work with the bowling alley too. That might be next week, but I kind of want to get everything on this fine tuned. I do see some places I got to paint or conceal with plant life. So that's basically what I got to do is get more plant life and kind of cover up. Because even if it's missing a shingle, I think it should miss a shingle, so it doesn't look perfect. It's part of the house that just needs maintenance. What do I gotta do here? Bag of rocks. That's what I want to do. If I want to line something with some rocks, there's an even better clip. It's so tight. If I put that on the pillars or something, it'll snap on. We got it here. You know, I could almost pick that tree back up. Sucks, I know. Just reattach the cordage again for it to it. And I think I will keep him here. But yeah, just so you guys can see. Oh, I gotta put that battery in. Fell out. Smoke weed every day. Clean that off real quick. Light that up again. There it goes. All right. So yeah, this to the back. Now I put this tree off of the front like this, and then it lights up like a nighttime kind of yard ornament. Really, like just a real tiny tree. But do need to get something to lay it down. Keep tipping over. Like that. Add the white on it, so it's kind of a little white capped. think that was actually to the back side here, but again, I got to get more of that stuff too because I used it up in the cemetery. But okay, yeah, there it is. There's the light. If you want to get really creepy with it. You have a house with a lot of spiritual problems. Oh, fell over. Obsessed house. You just throw a strobe light in there. Yeah, definitely no salesman will bother you. Change the speed, so it's just insane. Now, so getting ready to do a shoot with this. What I'm going to do is it's going to be a test shoot, but the first project is going to be like an intro to a show. It might even be the intro to the live stream every week that I do for gaming. Because what I built with all the pieces, the 7-Eleven, the bowling alley, the cemetery, and this house it's roughly based off of the neighborhood I grew up in. So, but it's going to be kind of like a Tales from the Crypt-ish, where it's kind of moving through. You just see all these things, and maybe it stops at the house where I'm supposed to be. Not to kill the magic of it and over-explain it, but that's going to be the first test. Is I want to use it for an intro. All these pieces will get reused all the time in every project, and this is going to be kind of like the fingerprint. Like, hey, I know that house that was in this, over in that, but my friend Gabe, he's working on content. A friend of his has a Roku channel. So we were thinking about building content on Roku and expanding beyond YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, so I want him off the backside over here. That way I can run that wire back here. I'll find a way to conceal it. Actually, got to figure out a way to tack those little wires down. Yeah, man, if it's jug there instead, kind of. A little bit with pterodactyl. Nice. That kind of adds some exterior lighting. I have I'll do a live stream where I break in or I break out like the 7-Eleven and the bowling alley so everybody can see it. Because you have to have like a little controller to turn on. There's a billboard light, a billboard that lights up that promotes the bowling alley. So that would be like kind of down the street. Yeah, it's fun to do, man. When you know, with like video production and film and stuff, at least camera work, not necessarily editing it, just how to shoot with a camera. How that kind of works. Kind of dug into the ground there. Um, One of my original goals was after I left Pikes Peak Community College was I was going to do whatever my career was going to be. I was going to end up actually teaching there when I was a real old man. Right? I don't know if I have that in me as far as the classroom side of it. Like right there, I got to put some more of this white just so it's white capping to the dark underneath. Yeah. We could even do it to where I don't know. Somehow Pumpkinhead Jack's in there just hanging out. It'd be cool to do a shot where we green screen it and you just walk out the door and walk off. Doesn't have to be anything, it's just a cameo. We can get that pumpkin through the door, get stuck. Little piece of that right there. See that? Where are we at on time? It's been about 2 hours. Beginning was a rough spot, was a rough startup because I was actually really trying to get this going on Instagram instead of Facebook, but also doing multiple using my old phone for Facebook and webcam for YouTube, playing music in the background to make sure everything worked. So, yeah. But yeah, for anybody else that, especially on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you head over to YouTube, subscribe, like the video, because the channel has actually been catching on and growing, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I think if I just turn those legs down, they stick. So that works. See if I can't take that clamp off. Oh. I'm just gonna have to leave that clamped overnight. I don't know better than to mess with things. That happened last week with that gazebo and those pillars. They just kept messing with it. Kept it making it a disaster. Shot the Facebook. Yeah, I'll put it all together. So, like, basically where I lived, like, I didn't live in a house like this, but this is gonna sit across the street from the 7-Eleven, kind of like how I grew up. Then up the hill is the bowling alley, and then across from that's going to be a cemetery. So it's just really a four-piece set. And with green screening, I can make it look like it's an actual public area where maybe houses in the background. where they're so far in the distance, I don't need permission. Another reason I built a miniature house is I don't need permission to shoot the exterior of somebody's house, uh, or anything like that. Also, like, especially since we're going into the age of AI, I understand it. I'm for it in a lot of ways, but I still want to see people get back to actually building real stuff, making it. Putting the heart back into what they do. Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that dry. There'll probably be a few live streams since I'm doing this once a week. Uh, back to the house, maybe next week. So I'm gonna try to keep it maybe on every Friday that I do a behind the scenes. That leaves my Saturdays open for, well, got a hectic schedule, so Saturdays are hit and miss with me right now. But trying to use that for when I do modern gaming with the retro feel streams. So I can have three things go in a week, like three different kind of shows in a way people can come and check out. Definitely try to keep the behind the scenes to Friday nights at about 5 o'clock, maybe earlier in the day if it warrants it. I don't know. Sleep schedule's a little messed up. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean up in this stream. Got a few things done. Those 2 hours kind of went quick, but I'm gonna work on Instagram and see what the deal is with why it won't let me go live, like what the whole public profile thing is, because nothing is set to private. So definitely going to be issues on that. But again, just to remind everybody, make sure you throw the video a like if you haven't. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe so we can grow. There's more things to come, especially when I get guest gamers in, i.e. Adam. And you can watch us cry and moan when we're running from Nemesis. That guy kicked our ass last time. Definitely a spiritual depancing, but we're gonna regroup and hopefully get back to that game. But yeah, on top of some multiple other games. But again, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been fun. I really enjoyed explaining stuff to you too. So I do appreciate the questions. Till next Friday, hopefully. Again, I'm trying not to make these too much of a pop up, but I at least put out a promo on Instagram, Facebook, and post to YouTube. At least that it's going to be that day. So it's not like I go live and you're like, oh, hey, didn't know about this. Definitely want you to be here for it. So I will see you guys next week.